Hello students, welcome back to the Greatman Online Learning. Today we will be learning chapter 12, Our Life Supports. And in this chapter we are going to learn about air and water and how it supports our lives. So first topic is air around us. As we know, human beings cannot live without air. So let's learn about air. The thick blanket of air that surrounds our planet Earth is called atmosphere. This atmosphere is held around the Earth by the Earth's gravity. The atmosphere is a mixture of gases. It has the air we breathe, the wind and rain, and the clouds in the sky. It is life giving. It also retains heat and blocks the harmful rays which comes from the sun. Those harmful rays are also called ultraviolet radiations. So let's see, why do we need air? We need air for breathing. The fresh air we breathe in is called inhaled air, and the air we breathe out is called exhaled air. In our lungs, oxygen from the inhaled air is being taken by the blood, and carbon dioxide from the blood is given out with exhaled air. Exhaled air always has the higher percentage of carbon dioxide, and inhaled air has higher percentage of oxygen. Air is also needed for burning. As you can see in this experiment, when the candle is being put inside a glass jar, the candle stops burning. Why? Because there was limited air inside the jar. And you can see the candle is burning here because it has a proper amount of air around it. So this shows that air is needed for burning. Some other uses of air, like moving air supports parachutes, kites. Air is also used to inflate footballs and tubes of vehicles. It also push sailboats and turn the blades of windmills to generate electricity. Now let's see the different layers of atmosphere. There are 5 layers of atmosphere. First layer is the troposphere. This is the first layer above the earth's surface, and the changes in the weather occur in troposphere. The second layer is stratosphere. This is the second layer, and many jet aircraft fly in this layer. Ozone gas is also present, which absorbs ultraviolet rays which comes from the sun. These rays can cause skin cancer. Third layer is mesosphere. Meteoroids or the small rocks moving about in space burn out in this layer and therefore do not reach the surface of the earth. Next layer, fourth layer, is thermosphere. Space shuttles move in this layer. And fifth layer is exosphere. Now let's see what all gases are present in the air. So let's learn the composition of air. The air we breathe contains various gases. In the clean air, about 78% of nitrogen is there, 21% of oxygen, and in 1% it is the mixture of carbon dioxide, water vapor, and other gases. Let's learn them individually. First, we will learn oxygen and carbon dioxide. The most important gas for our survival is oxygen. All living beings need oxygen. And also oxygen is needed for burning. And carbon dioxide is important gas for plants. Plants prepare their food with the help of carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight. And this process is called photosynthesis. Next gas is nitrogen. It is around 78% in our earth. And living beings do not use nitrogen directly from the air. Animals get nitrogen from plants, meat, and fishes. Plants get this nitrogen with the help of bacteria in the soil. and nitrogen is also added to the soil by using chemical fertilizers. Now some other gases. In that 1% you can see there is argon, carbon dioxide, neon, helium, methane, hydrogen and krypton. So in that, argon is used to produce colorful glow in the electric lights and glass tubes. You must have seen these glass tubes in your daily life, and these glass tubes are filled with argon gases. Next is water vapor. Water vapor is formed because of the evaporation of water from the surfaces of seas, rivers and lakes. Water vapor in the air can cause changes in the weather. It condenses to form clouds, rain, fog and snow. And what is humidity? Humidity is the amount of water vapor present in the air. So when there is more water vapor present, so we say that air is humid. And when less water vapor is there, so we say that air is dry. And high humidity makes us feel uncomfortable as our sweat is not able to evaporate easily. Now let's learn the properties of air. There are three properties of air: that air has weight, it takes up space, and it exerts pressure in all directions. Let's see how air has weight. This is the first activity that shows air has weight. In this activity, what they have done, they have taken two same balloons of same size and they have tied them at the two ends of a stick. Then they have inflate the balloons and balance the stick by shifting the position of the balloons as shown in the figure. And then now prick a balloon and let the air escape from it. Now what will happen? The stick tilts towards the air filled balloon. So this shows that balloon is filled with air and air has some weight. Next property is air takes up space. For this, you have to take some water in a glass tub or a container and take an ordinary transparent tumbler. Then you have to turn it upside down and dip into the container so that its rim touches the level of the water. Now lower the tumbler into the container. Now tilt the tumbler to one side. What you will see? That some air bubbles are coming out of it. It means when the tumbler goes inside the water, the air bubbles are coming out. Means the air has taken some space inside the water which is trying to come out. So this shows that air takes up space. Next is air exerts pressure in all directions. There are three activities. In the first activity, it is showing that air exerts pressure in upward direction. In the first activity, what they have done, they have taken one glass and they have filled the glass with water to the brim. And now what you have to do, they have covered the tumbler with a piece of stiff hard paper. Now press the paper, they have pressed the paper with their hands and turn the tumbler upside down. Then they have removed their hand. Now what you will observe, that the paper is not falling down. Why? Because the air is exerting pressure towards the paper. So this activity shows that air exerts pressure in upward direction. Now, how will you show that air exerts pressure in the downward direction? For this, you have to perform one activity. You have to take an empty plastic bottle and you have to make hole on its side. Okay, and you have to seal the hole with the tape and fill the bottle with water. Now open the hole and what will happen? Now the water will start coming out. Now again seal the hole and fill the bottle with water and now screw the cap of the bottle tightly. Now when you will open the hole, what will happen? The water will come in much force, right? Why? Because the air inside the bottle is exerting the pressure downwards. Okay, so this shows that air exerts pressure in downward direction. And in the third picture, you can see You can see that he has taken a plastic bottle, and inside the plastic bottle he has taken a balloon. Now you have to fill the balloon, you have to blow hard into the balloon, okay, to make it fill inside the bottle. Now tie its neck very tightly and try to lift the balloon up. What will happen? The air inside the balloon will presses all on all the sides and can easily help to lift the bottle. So this shows that air exerts pressure in all directions. Now next topic is water. Water also supports our life. Water is very important as air is very important for our survival. And for what all things we need water? We need water for drinking, for cooking food, for extinguishing fire, for bathing, for washing clothes. And it is very important for us to drink pure water. So the purest form of natural water is rainwater, but it must be purified and made suitable for drinking. So let's learn the impurities that is present in water. There are three types of impurities which are present in waters, which are there in the wells, rivers, dams. So these are insoluble impurities, the impurities which can be seen. Second is the soluble impurities which cannot be seen. And third is the disease causing germs. So let's see the first method for removing the insoluble impurities from water. There are three methods given: sedimentation, decantation and filtration. So for sedimentation, what they have done, they have taken a mixture of soil and water in a beaker, then they have stirred it well with a glass rod, then they have allowed the mixture to stand for few minutes. Now you can see the heavier soil particles will settle down at the bottom of the beaker. This is called sedimentation. And now they have carefully drained the clean water into the another beaker. This is called decantation. And the next method is filtration. For filtration, they have used a filter paper to filter the water. What they have done, they have made a cone of filter paper, then they have poured the mixture of soil and water over the filter paper by using glass rod. Okay, so now drops of clear water will come down into the beaker and will collect as a clear filtrate water, and soil particles will left on the filter paper. So next, there is a method for removing soluble impurities from water. There are two methods given. First is evaporation and second is distillation. What is evaporation? It is the process of changing of water into water vapors by heating. This is evaporation. And what is distillation? It is the process of purifying water by heating and cooling. Let's learn how distillation is done. So in distillation, first the impure water is heated till it starts boiling. On boiling, the water evaporates and the impurities remain behind. The water vapor enter the condenser, in which it is kept cool by cold water circulating around it. And on entering the cool condenser, the hot water, the water vapors change into water again, and it can be collected into the flask. And this distilled water is the purest form of water, and it can be used in car batteries, science experiments and in medicines. Now let's see how purification of drinking water is being done. So for healthy living, clean water is necessary for drinking and cooking. Okay, because impure water contains many disease causing germs like those of cholera, jaundice and dysentery. So in large towns, what happened? There are three methods which are mainly used for treatment of water. The first is the sedimentation, in which water is being collected in large open tanks and is left undisturbed for few days. And then what happens? The heavy suspended impurities sink down to the bottom. They sit down at the bottom, and air and sunlight also kill harmful bacteria. Then now this water is being sent for filtration. After sedimentation, it is being sent for filtration. The water is filtered through a clean sand bed to remove finer suspended particles. Then in then in the disinfectant tank, what happens? Chlorination is being take place. Water is then disinfected with a small quantity of chlorine gas to kill the bacteria. Now this water goes to the homes and it is now safe for drinking. Now let's see how we can purify water at our homes. How we can purify? We can purify water by boiling it for at least 10 minutes. And boiled water may be strained through a clean piece of cloth and stored in a clean container for usage. Next, we can use a water filter to store drinking water. And thirdly, we can use some potassium permanganate crystals for killing germs. And underground water from deep springs and deep well is also free from insoluble impurities and you can use it for drinking. So this chapter is completed. Let's see what all things we have learned. We have learned what is atmosphere, that the blanket of air surrounding the earth is called atmosphere. And air is a mixture of many gases like nitrogen, oxygen and carbon dioxide. And the 5 layers of atmosphere are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. And what are the 3 properties of air? That air has weight, it occupies space and it exerts pressure in all directions. And water can be purified by sedimentation and decantation, filtration, evaporation and distillation. And disease causing germs can be killed by boiling water or by adding chlorine to it. So we have learnt now what all things supports our life. So for the assignment and question answers and exercises, you can refer the description box. So till the time, stay safe. Thank you.